Ladies and gentlemen, how's it going? It's me, Jim Cool, on the CALLOUS channel. It's 2 a.m. Sydney time. I've stayed up for this one. Super epic Ampharos versus Astamatitos. This is going to be a great one. I requested to narrate this one because I'm a big fan of Super Epic Ampharos. I think he's going to bring some cool stuff. And it's going to be interesting seeing him face off against Asta, a storied player, one of the first ADV players I ever heard about as one of the greats. Ampharos, a bit more of an unorthodox gamer. Let's see how their styles clash here. This is going to be a good one. Couple of Menses facing off, turn one. This is anyone's game. You'd think this would be a straightforward turn. If it was me, I would have clicked hours ago. I wonder what they're thinking about. I guess one of them could be mixed and want a Dragon Claw, potentially. I mean, that's a risky play. They both get out of there. I guess, you know, they both don't have the most elegant Ment switch in. That kind of makes sense why that took a sec to think about. We've got a Punch Lax from Asta. Some kind of mixed offense we might be looking at. Ooh, nice curse up on the Protect. Curse Punch is not something you see every day, but I like it. And gonna do enormous chip to this Scum. This thing is, well, not a mixed offense actually. It's a Punch Lax on a, looks like a more balancy squad with a Claydol. I guess Punch Lax is just a pretty nice way to get through a Scum, chip it down. Mence comes in on the punch though. But gonna be frightened of a slam, and we see a maneuver out to Tar. Claydol double back in. That Claydol is faster than the Tar. Makes sense, it's a Pursuit Tar, folks. Adamant Claydol justifying its existence, threatening a 2-hit on that Pursuit Tar, forcing it out. That's a pretty big little earthquake chip there. Okay. Pump Mence is a bit unorthodox, ladies and gentlemen. That's pretty wacky. I mean, this team looks pretty normal so far from Mr. Ampharos, but we're going to see like Dugong or something insane in a moment. Or maybe it's just a normal team, which is the most unexpected thing of all. Expect the unexpected, as they say. We've got a Suicune minding up against a Blissey. It's a T-Bolt Blissey. So Ampharos is going to force a rest here in a moment. I like this team from Asta. I like the Punch Lax on a more slow-paced Claydol Coon Lax balance thing. I think that's honestly really cool. And looks like it's Crocoon with Sleep Talk. Gonna play for this 1v1. This is a bit risky, I feel, for Asta, but he doesn't think so. He's going for it. Actually, never mind. Oh, by the way, I didn't even comment on the fact that Blissey is also Calm Mind. That's interesting. So, clearly, Asta loses that 1v1. HP Fighting Jirachi has just clicked HP Fighting against this Blissey. And that threatens a 3-hit on Blissey. That's pretty cool. And it's pretty threatening, actually, against the Tar. I imagine Jirachi can also hit Mence with a Body Slam. I mean, I don't know what else the Jirachi would have. Nice wish into the... Allow Lax back in. Gonna be a pretty straightforward return right there. I mean, this Lax is a really big threat right now. Scum is low. It doesn't want to get punched anymore. Claydol exists. Doesn't look like Super Epic Ampharos has a Gengar. I mean, he might, but... Reveals a Jirachi. Which has come in on Lax. I mean... I wonder if he has something to directly threaten Lax. No, he doesn't, but he can just wish up against it. I would expect a Body Slam on that Lax set, but he's got a return. I guess he just cares more about damage than fishing for power. fair enough, I suppose. And the pump mence is probably thinking about pumping this tar. Would he have brick break on a pump mence? I mean, that's... Pump mence is something you see every now and then, but... I wonder if it's some kind of roll compression, if it hits something that the regular HP grass wouldn't hit. Who knows? I guess it mid-grounds Moltres, doesn't it? Maybe that's something. Not too useful in this matchup, I will say. I mean, actually, it kind of threatens Claydol. Maybe that's the idea. They're thinking here. Deep in the tank, as they say. Maybe it's also a way to cheat in terms of brick break for Tyranitar. Whoa, a Salac on the tar. Unexpected, but all of a sudden. Oh, and he pursuits on... That was amazing. That was so good. On the go Blissey. That was a beautiful pursuit. That was so good. I'm actually like in awe of that pursuit. Alright, Pert is in. Yeah, I thought Epic Ampharos looked good earlier on, but... That Scarm got chipped by the punch lax, and... The Mence got taken out with that unorthodox tar set. Asta kind of clawing back into the advantage with those moves. Depending on the... I was going to say depending on the tar set he could maybe get there, but just looks to be a regular old Pursuit tar, I imagine. Carmine Blissey could be a way to break through. I mean, we still don't know what the Pert is. The Pert could have some surprise option to claw its way back in. This could still be a comeback. We see a brick break. This Mence actually has not revealed anything thus far. Revealing probably a Mix Mence. It was up in the air. It wasn't exactly certain what this Mence could have been based on the rest of the team. I wouldn't be surprised if it's a Mix Mence with Wish, because I think this team could really use Wish support. And that's something I've seen before, like Linear Curvers run stuff like that, a Mix Mence with Wish alongside Lax. Now, this Blissey has got an opportunity here to kind of go crazy a little bit. This Snorlax is public enemy number 1, though. I think the Jirachi handles it pretty nicely, especially because it's return and not slam. But the Wish support from Jirachi is kind of hard to handle for Super Epic Ampharos. It's a pretty nice way to just heal up the Lax every time. It's a tough thing to break here. I wonder if, like, you just fish for freezes or something at this point, but I don't know. I don't know if you're quite that desperate. I think... Oh, but he does, actually. He goes for the freeze. That return's going to be huge damage. He's got another chance to go for a freeze. I guess maybe that's his plan now. Nah, goes Rachi. Clicking Wish, I imagine. Oh, goes for Punch. Actually, I do like that. Fish for the burn versus the Lax. Reveals Toxic, so probably no Slam. Toxic more useful, I would say, in this matchup, so pretty nice there. And I guess he justified that Ice Beam earlier. He has the easy way to heal Blissey back up with the Suicune allowing Blissey in and also threatening to 1v1 it. Good punch. I guess Blissey really can't afford to click a button there, but I guess it's also not very much chip into Jirachi. It was a good click, but Jirachi doesn't really care about that much. I think Toxic was a logical click there. What do we see now? Fire Punch? That's what I thought. Does get the burn. Gets a bit of a break. I honestly... Asta has seemed ahead the whole time, but... Or at least since taking out the Ments. But I think that C has a very good defensive core here. Actually, with his Wisharachi himself, and this Claydol is about to go down. That's a lot of damage to take on the Tar, but... I think that this Carmine Blissey is very threatening right now and could be a win condition. All he's got to do is chip down this Snorlax. It's tough though. The Wish support from Jirachi is the main thing, like preventing Super Epic Ampharos from really just straight up breaking through with Blissey. This could be a long one actually. Two Wisharachis, both preventing progress in a way. And they're thinking here. I mean, it's a tough one. You should take your time to think in these moments. It can be hard to play these more closed positions, to use a bit of chess terminology, but they both have a lot of time on the clock. Good to use it. If it was Jim, I would definitely be pondering what the heck to do. Ments, pretty threatening. Super Epic Ampharos does not have an easy switch here. With the right prediction, something's dying. I think he's probably frightened to take much chip on Bliss, especially it's a little bit chipped already. Can't really come in and then take a Brick Break as well. Even if he kills the Ments, he doesn't really want to be that chipped down, so I don't think he's going to go Bliss. Because, like, no outcome's good for going Bliss. Jirachi is also really important for Super Epic Ampharos. And without Slam, it doesn't really have a good thing to threaten this Ments. And Ments is threatening Fire Blast. Tyranitar's a bit chipped too. I mean, this is not a great position against mixed Ments. I wonder if Ampharos is thinking if he has a Wish on the Ments. I guess he doesn't necessarily need it because he does have Wish support already, but it's just something that popped into my head. On these kinds of structures, you do see Wish on this Ments sometimes, and people have been talking about that. I've seen on Discord and stuff. The extra source of Wish could be useful. I wonder if he's trying to think, like, what coverage option does this Ments not have if they're running Wish? He revealed Brick Break, so it's probably Fire Grass or Fire Dragon then. I would imagine Fire Grass. Wish. Just thinking out loud, folks. I don't know. Trying to put myself in the shoes of these players. And he did go for the Brick Break. He was... I mean, it's a pretty low-risk click. He's threatening the Tar that's right in front of him and catches a Blissey if it happens to come in. Swampert is pretty nice, but it likely just dies to this HP Grass. Maybe, I mean, maybe you do have to just take that chip on Blissey that I said was so bad before. What else can you do? This Ments is just threatening the entire world. Yeah, it does just sack Swampert. Maybe that's for the best, actually, because lets you get a free switch into Bliss. Swampert, not that useful. Not something that crossed my mind just now, but I think that sack makes a lot of sense. You don't have a great alternative there. It's a good Wish. I think even just healing Blissey here up to back to full helps a lot versus this Ments. Oh, and the Tar healing is also really nice. Gives you a little bit more maneuverability. I hope he went straight to Blissey. Oh, no, he went for the Fire Blast. Now Mence is back in and it's threatening everything again. If he had Blissey in, he could at least take a Brick Break, take about 45-ish, Ice Beam it, try to heal back with the Wish Jirachi again, or try to find a Soft Boiled. That was a good plan. But just went for the straight-up Fire Blast. I think it was pretty low risk for him to just go Blissey in the face of that Jirachi. Worst case scenario, what's going to happen? You know? You're not going to get... Oh, right, HP Fighting. Dude, I forgot about that completely. I was thinking about so many other things. I forgot he has HP Fighting Jirachi. And actually, going Bliss was scary there because of the head. Damn, totally forgot about that. Not a common option. Alright, I mean, at this point, it might be nice to just play for a miss on the Fire Blast or something right here. And I mean, if this Mixments wasn't already threatening enough, you've got a whole entire Snorlax to worry about, which has support from Jirachi, as I've stated. So this is tough. He does go for the Toxic there, maybe hoping that he went for the Fire Blast, but I think that this outcome is actually better for Super Epic Ampharos. He got out of there scot-free and didn't take any damage on his Jirachi, got his Blissey back in, and that chip right there does add up. That little 14% on the Snorlax, and oh, this is... Okay, if he can get a burn on this Jirachi, that's another big way that he could... Notably, the Jirachi stayed in and did not opt to go to Snorlax and Wish Up, and... Yeah, Fire Punch, super safe click from Super Epic Ampharos right there, because if he went Snorlax, he's also risking... Well, they both just crit each other, that's crazy, but... I was worried that Asta might Wish, but... Good call by Super Epic Ampharos. Oh! Oh, man. So close. Yeah, he does Wish on the Protect that time. Would have been crazy if he punched there. Jim would have considered punching, but that's a frightening punch to click that. That's like... You gotta be a gamer to click punch right there. But not the end of the world that Asta wished up. I mean, at least... It's a punch war. Whoever burns first wins. And he goes for the Wish on the Protect again. There was an opportunity for a gamer click there, but he didn't want to risk it. The health almost doesn't matter as much as the burn chances. But you could sneak in an extra burn chance by punching there. Alright. This is almost a Gen 1 moment. It's like when the two Chanseys are fishing for Ice Beams. Oh, he HP Fightings that time. Interesting. Did he think he would go Blissey? He wanted to just chuck a mix-up in there. Or is he, like, worried about his PP? I mean, he has 15. He surely goes for the punch if he thinks... And Suicune coming in. Pressure stalling the PP on Fire Punch a little bit there. Honestly, kind of noteworthy in these longer games to think about PP. How many turns is this? So this Suicune is about to wake up. Tyranitar in a pretty good position. I mean, nice Calm Mind, because that's going to allow him to live the incoming crunch and then be able to rest back up. Yeah, I think going Blissey is the best option there. This is a pretty damn good opportunity for Blissey to Calm Mind up. But I mean, geez, this is just so hard to break this full health Lax. Good pursuit. That's good. Needs to make a bit of progress. Punches. I do like a Pursuitar with Punch. I think it's a great set. Just wants to do a bit of chip on the Suicune. I mean, maybe he could have saved Punch as a more surprise option. Crunch does similar damage. Maybe he was trying to catch a Snorlax coming in. I don't think Snorlax wants to take chip when it doesn't have to, though. Okay, this Blissey I would fish for like an Ice Beam freeze on the incoming lax maybe. But a Pyro would also be really good, so... Slow game, folks. Slow games have a stigma to them, but I really like them, to be honest. My hunch is that Asta is in the winning position, but it could go either way with the Jirachi Fire Punch fishing and even this T-Bolt Para fish right here. Goes for the HP fight. He did go for the Ice Beam freeze fish on the what he thought would be an incoming Snorlax, but just stayed in that time. I mean, this is pretty rough pressure versus Bliss right now. I wonder if he tries to get his Jirachi back in now. Although he is net healing, so this isn't the world's worst scenario. It's pretty important for Blissey to be full health. Goes for another Ice Beam freeze fish. Doesn't hit it. Goes Rachi. Logical. I think Suicune's still sleeping. So, wonder if he just goes Bliss on the Suicune. Oh, it protects. Interesting protect. Didn't want to... You know, I actually like that. Because it doesn't waste Fire Punch PP if he happens to go Suicune. That being said, he does Fire Punch the next time. It is pretty damn scary to double to Bliss there just to save some PP, so... I do understand... You know, Bliss would have been better. It's like, so risky. $100-turn game. Honestly, not what I expected when I envisioned what this set would look like, but expect the unexpected, folks. I do think that this is pretty much just going to come down to the Jirachi hacks, or the Blissey hacks. Maybe even Blissey getting stalled out of soft boiled. He's used 5. Ice Beam? Nah. Ah, Crit Punch is kind of unfortunate. Got to expect a Wish. A Curse is interesting. Asta probably still just goes Suicune, yeah. Burn chance, I guess. Doesn't hit it. This is kind of just going to rinse, repeat, same song and dance. He's going to T-Bolt Para this time. No, he isn't. Blissey is not going to T-Bolt Para that time, ladies and gents. He's going to calm it up, though. Insane. And Snorlax back to full health. Will anyone ever make progress in this game? Ice Beam might freeze. No, it won't. Will anyone ever make progress in this game? Find out in the next turn. Asta has geniusly conditioned Super Epigantherus to expect Punch, concealing his true intention of clicking Return, achieving 50% chip on the Blissey. Honestly, just chucking in mix-ups every once in a while can go a long way to maintaining unpredictability. And Lax back in, doing Lax stuff. Ooh, but that time, insane read on the Focus Punch. Incredible. Do it again, go for Ice Beam. Freeze something. I mean, you got how many? 16 Ice Beams? One of them has to freeze. It's got to freeze one day. The Wish again. How many wishes we got left? 6? Actually, he can stall them out of wishes. Only 6 more wishes? Only 4 more ice beams though, isn't that insane? Damn. He should be careful. He kind of needs ice beam to hit, like, just to attack Salamates. Like, if he doesn't have ice beam, Salamates kind of just goes crazy. You gotta be so careful here. I'm kind of amazed that none of these Thunderbolts or Ice Beams have done anything. The odds are surely through the roof on... I don't know exact math on this stuff, but like... That's 13 Ice Beams and none of them are frozen, and... What? He's got also all these fire punches. I think one of them burned, maybe. This one's burning. What did I tell you? I know when things burn and when they don't. I know everything. I know all about when RNG effects will happen. Okay. Rachi returning. Okay. Oh, true HP fight. Doing peanuts, though. Burn him! Can secondary effects please occur? I mean, jeez. Give this man a break. This type of scenario does require, like, a lot of patience. For all you gamers who have been in these positions, you pretty much can't make progress except for fishing for secondary effects. It's like... It can get tiring. Especially when you're dealing with, like, these threats. You got the Mints and the Lax. I actually thought that was a forfeit, but it was a pursuit. In my muscle memory, I was like, did he just forfeit? No, he pursuited. And that was a great play. This Rachi is super low now. Like, he might actually be able to kill this thing. Really nice way to make progress there. I love it. But... You know, I'm thinking, what if he just clicks Crunch? Because, like, Asta is threatening Surf, so therefore Blissey is the obvious switch. And then if Blissey is the obvious switch, Asta wants to take this opportunity to heal up his Jirachi. No, never mind, he didn't. He just clicked Surf. I mean, that's also fair enough, but... I was just thinking out loud. Finally a T-Bolt, and this Jirachi might actually go down. Now his source of heals for his Snorlax is gone, but... To be honest, it's still really rough. I mean, Lax is... gonna threaten Blissey instantly after something drops. He's got, what, 3 Ice Beams left in him? Forgive that little period of silence there. Jim is just sort of at a loss for words. We're turn 139. Both players thinking. I'm sure Super Epic Ampharos has already clicked Thunderbolt. Although apparently not. His clock is still ticking down, actually. Surely it's just Thunderbolt here. I wonder if Asta is thinking about going to, like, Salamence on the Thunderbolt. That could be gaming. I think that this Suicune might actually just win the end game purely through PP stalling. Like, it can just tank the Thunderbolts after Calm-Minding enough, and then... He can only do, like, 4 Thunderbolts. I guess Blissey will Calm-Mind alongside it, though. might not exactly work. But that is something to think about. The clock absolutely ticking down. Someone click a button. I'm surprised that Ampharos is thinking. I would have clicked Thunderbolt hours ago, but... He did click Thunderbolt, okay. He was pondering, though. Wonder if he was thinking about the switch to Ments, or if he was pondering other things. Okay, Rachi back in. I suppose that makes a bit of sense. Is he trying to... Was that an elaborate way to waste some Fire Punch PP? It may well have been. Okay, that's a pretty beautiful wish. Although, you know, Jirachi coming back in here is going to chip heal once more. Protect. Oh, crit. I think that was relevant. I'm pretty sure Jirachi lived that. But Super Epic Ampharos has clicked so many buttons, and none of them have really crit or done anything, so you can't be too upset about that. I think that there is the Mence still. But this is looking pretty nice for Super Epic Ampharos, I gotta admit. With this Carmine Bliss is just... Goes for the Toxic, giving Suicune a turn to Carmine up. That might... I think maybe you had to go straight to Blissey because of the whole pressure stall thing. Giving Suicune a head start might have been a mistake. Just thinking about how this might play out in a moment. Although, you know, Blissey matches the boosts. Suicune is eventually forced to rest. I think it's probably still in Blissey's favor, but... Goes for the heal straight away. True, he might have died to a crit. So that's... I think that's the best play. And goes for the rest straight away too. Yeah, he may have died to like T-Bolt plus thing. Now, I wonder if you use your Ice Beam or... I don't know if you're worried that much about T-Bolt PP. It's just this little cat and mouse game of the Jirachi comes in on the Snorlax, but then the Suicune comes in on the Jirachi and wastes its PP. And Suicune is just an absolute late game menace for that reason, but yeah, Blissey threatens a 2-hit with the Ice Beam. I think he probably just calced that and checked if he's still 2-hit. Hope you clicked T-Bolt. Okay, you got no Ice Beams, right? I think this is wrong and he has no Ice Beams, because he had 3 left, and now he got pressured. I think the correct play was to T-Bolt, same damage, and then... Okay, well, actually... I've been talking about the Mence hold this whole time. I forgot it was burned, so T-Bolt is going to be enough. I think Super Epic Ampharos has done it. I should have remembered that detail. Sorry, folks. It's been a long game here. And... Oh, it just gets the crit to finish it off. Super patiently played. Really long one. And the plan that I was talking about hours ago came to fruition. He took out the Jirachi, denying the Snorlax of heals, eventually chips it down. Was he able to 2-hit it with Ice Beams? Patiently going for every little bit of hacks he can get. Are we going to see a game 2 in a moment? That was super well played by both, to be honest. Some great plays like that pursuit on the, what was it, the Mence earlier on. Putting him ahead. Insane Salak set as well. That was really cool. And I love the team. I love both teams. Really good teams. Yeah, like I said, long games do have a stigma about them. People are like, oh, geez, a long game. And I am aware that this video is also like 35 minutes long at this point. I apologize to CALLOUS for this one. Maybe I shouldn't have stayed up until 2 a.m. to watch this and cover the replay, but I do actually like seeing them thinking in real time, clicking buttons in real time. And it's easy. You're looking at a replay, you forget that these players are playing these turns in real time, and it's stressful. The stakes are high. It's cool to see. And I think I love that Super Epic Emperors brought this really pretty slow-paced team, kind of atypical of what you would expect of him. I think it's really good to mix up your team usage like that. Bring something that people aren't going to prepare for against you. It's important to be unpredictable and be able to play any type of team. That's not what I expected. If I was up against Super Epic Emperors, I may have gotten owned by this team choice completely. And I think that's a sign of a great player. I guess they're thinking about what teams to bring for game 2. You know, when it was me playing, I had actually planned out my teams all in advance. I had a game 1 team, a game 2 team, and a game 3 team. I never thought about team choice mid-set or anything. I just had it planned out. That helped me psychologically, you know. Sometimes I think when you're like fiddling around choosing what team to pick, it can actually be like a sign of fear. I think that having my team locked in advance gave me a bit of confidence. Do we in fact have a game 3? Sorry, game 2. Here it is. Couple of tars staring. We got a mirror lead matchup, two games in a row. I mean, not much to say about this lead matchup. You see it all the time. Oh, let me switch sides. Super Epic Ampharos on the bottom once again. I mean, if one of the tars has Brick Break, he's probably thinking about clicking that. There you go. It's a Brick Break and it's a Suicune. A great switch into a mixed tar. Great catch-all check to Suicune. Super Epic Ampharos said, not him again. Oh, it's another Suicune game, he said. Uh-oh. But Lax is a good answer. At least he's not totally effed against Suicune. It's a Cloyster team from Asta. And an interesting one at that, I think. I've used Suicune Cloyster, I think, but not in a while. Ooh, HP Grass Swampert gonna chunk Cloyster. That's like the best option possible against Cloyster almost. Punch is good too against it as Swampert. Cloyster's usually designed to like farm Swampert, come in on a water hit, take minimal damage. You take nothing from Earthquake because you got a million defense, but yeah, HP Grass, crazy. But you got to be scared of a explosion from Cloyster being threatened right now. You got to be. Sometimes they run HP Grass themselves. That's something you can think about. That would not be at the forefront of my mind, but it's something to think about. Oh, he actually opts to switch out. That's kind of interesting. Playing around the boom play around. Super Epic Emperors went Metagross, playing around boom. Asta went Suicune, playing around him, playing around boom. It's the mind games are insane. At CALLOUS in Invitational 6, folks. A lot of people are not hot on Cloyster right now. I actually think it's kind of nice in this meta. I just think you have to build with it differently now. It has to adapt to the rise of like the rise of Claydol and Salamence. Maybe Jolteon's falling out of favor for that reason. Double Edge Metagross is cool. Looks like band damage. He reckons he wants to chip the Suicune down. I do like that. Now it's in Mixed Tyre HP Grass range. It's not going to be so easy to switch into Mixed Tyre anymore. Psychic is a pretty significant chip against Swampert, and Swampert being dead is pretty enormous, actually. There's an unrevealed Tyranitar right here. You gotta imagine that that's a Dance Tar. On a Spikes team, that's what I would assume. It could also be a fellow Mixed Tar, but the fact it did switch out turn 1. I mean, Suicune is just a safe switch in to Tar, so maybe that doesn't actually reveal anything about this Tar. It could also be Mixed Tar, but unrevealed from Super Epic Ampharos' perspective. You want to maybe preserve your Swampert. Nice boom, actually, because HP Grass kind of signifies maybe no Protect, maybe missing an important move slot. Could be no Protect, so kind of true that good moment to boom. Goes for the Ice Beam. Gets the freeze. Oh my god. Gets really bailed out there. I mean, I wouldn't say that he was like losing or anything, but that Aero was in a really good position. Aero with a Spike Up threatening to kill what's in front of it. I mean, that's a good position. Turns the tables on it randomly with a freeze, making up for last game where didn't hit any freezes out of all his Ice Beams. I think he literally ran out of Ice Beams and didn't freeze any of them. Saving up his luck for game 2. I think without Aero, he does not have enough steam to break through anymore. Unless this DD Tar makes a miracle happen. It is worth noting, 2 rock resists are not long for this world. One of them's dead. Metagross on 3%, about to die to the Spike next time. Just Double Edges on its way out. Wonder why that Flygon didn't just kill it. Maybe he wants to get Tar in right now. He wants to sack and get Tar in. That could be it. Suicune already accepting death. And it's Immense. Immense is kind of amazing here. If it's a mixed Immense, I think it's game over. Yeah, really nice. Dragon Claw mid-grounds everything. And he's about to Brick Break this incoming Tar. It won't kill, but I'm sure Snorlax can live the... Oh, that's enormous damage. Goes for the dance, of course. Could even just miss Rock Slide right now. It doesn't, though. I mean, Snorlax can live this and kill this, but there is flinch chance. He said GG's prematurely. Oh, he did. He knew he wouldn't get flinched. He just knew. And this Cloyster is... Yes, Surf won't finish this. So... Oh. Much faster game 2. That was a great set. Unfortunate freeze there, but... I would say that was a pretty clean victory for Super Epic Ampharos. Game 1 was really well played. And... this may have played out differently if the Aero survived, but... a little bit unfortunate that Asta got his game 2 a little bit robbed. I mean, I'm not going to say fully robbed. We wouldn't have seen how it would have played out, but... yeah, great showing. Really nice. That was an amazing set to watch live. I'm glad I stayed up in the end. Thank you very much for watching. Stay tuned for more CALLOUS Invitational 6. I'm going to also be narrating H-Clad versus PK Leech, which is about to happen shortly, I think, if it hasn't happened already. Thank you. And goodbye.